Now, the Nigeria police have pledged to prevent violence during the planned nationwide protest on August 1. In a statement issued on Friday, the police public relations officer, Joseph Enade, announced that the FCT command has deployed 4,200 officers to ensure the protest remains peaceful. The Commissioner of Police for the FCT emphasized residents' right to protest, but urged that it be conducted peacefully. Ade noted that the command has strategically deployed both material and human resources throughout the nation's capital to ensure public safety, protect protesters, and prevent the protest from being hijacked by non-state actors. In the meantime, over 60,000 youths from the Arawa Integrity Group for Good Governance in north-central Nigeria have decided not to join the planned nationwide protest on August 1. In a statement from Lafia, Nasarawa State, the group's leader, Joseph Maiwada, explained that their decision was to allow the federal government time to address citizens' needs and maintain peace. Maiwada also cited appeals from the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, as a reason for their withdrawal. He urged other protesting, those who are actually organizing the protest, to reconsider, highlighting the negative impacts of past protests on citizens and their livelihoods. To discuss this, we are joined by a legal practitioner and public affairs analyst, Tohwo Oseruvwoja, and he joins me from the United Kingdom. Thank you so much for joining us to talk about this.
Thank you so much, Lekon.
Now, according to Article 21 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, the right of peaceful assembly shall be recognized. And it went on to say that no restrictions may be placed on the exercise of this right other than those imposed in conformity with the law. So why is it that the Nigerian government seems agitated and somewhat hostile about its citizens wanting to embark on a protest?
Okay, Lekon, can you hear me?
Of course, go ahead.
Well, if you look at that particular article you just cited now, it has to do with the movement of citizens within a particular territory. And this movement did not expressly state if it is for protest or not, but protests also involve movement. We have the movement protests and non-movement protests. But be that as it may, if you see the reaction of the federal government or the reaction of state actors, which I want to talk about the police, and if you listen to the comment credited to the FCT Minister, is particularly the one of the FCT Minister is worrisome, because if you look at Section 40 of our Constitution, which is the ground law, gives the freedom of what? Freedom of peaceful assembly. I think what he should have done is to say that, well, protests are welcome, but it should be peaceful. And government has the right to make sure that every protest that is planned or executed must be peaceful. And that is within the confines of the Nigerian police. The Nigerian police are nothing other than the Nigerian police, except otherwise. So it is constitutional. It is constitutionally guaranteed, but however, there are exceptions to that. That is not an absolute right. Because if you look at Section 40, subsection 1, Section 45, subsection 1 of the Constitution of 1999, of the Constitution of Nigeria, you discover that it also states that such rights can be suspended or stopped for the purpose of public safety. So if there is safety, if there is public interest and public safety is a question, well, the government can take every necessary measure, reasonable measure, to see that such protests do not occur. And let's not forget the recurring decima in Africa now. We should not forget the NSAS protests, which many people and even state actors are yet to recover, the one of October 2020. Then you talk about what is happening in Uganda, which is yesterday, the one of Kenya, which has been on since June 18. So these are issues, and I think it's reasonable for people to look at the recurring issues and some of the activities that follow the aftermath of this protest to reconsider whatever decision they want to take on the 1st of August.
Okay, so I'm actually glad that you spoke extensively, citing the Section 40 of the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria and what the law actually stipulates. Now, I'm more concerned about what in terms of the law, what the protests or a post-protest should look like. Because what we've seen in Nigeria, of course, in recent times have been citizens who actually bore no weapons, those who actually had just the Nigerian flag, singing solidarity songs, Nigerian songs, talking about unity, those who just had bottled water. So I'm wondering, when you begin to paint the picture of precedences and occurrences, talking about protests that has occurred in Nigeria, let's leave Uganda and Kenya alone. At what point does it seem as though it violates the provision of the Nigerian constitution?
Well, it becomes at the point of where violence is, when violence is sensed. Where violence is sensed, because, well, if there's a peaceful protest can go with issue of procession, a peaceful procession whereby there is unison and solidarity songs are sung. Then peaceful protest can be even strategic, that is static. They can pick a particular place where they assemble, which is more reasonable, so that they'll be able to see those who are not part and parcel of the process, So that, and two, it will be easier for the security agents to protect or to provide covers for them. But a situation whereby, in the course of protest, you interrupt into the right of others, not by burning tires, not by blocking public roads, because these are public infrastructure. And you could look at what Section 45 of the Constitution says, subsection 1, that such rights can be suspended when it affects what? Public interest and public safety. Okay. But by the time it goes beyond being in a particular place or a peaceful procession whereby traffic will not be affected, whereby properties will not be destroyed, whereby people will not be targeted and molested or harassed, then it becomes peaceful. But when it goes beyond that, because what is the essence of protest? Where you bring tires, start burning tires on the main road, start blocking the major road for people, those who are not part of it, not to pass. But
when you look at protests world over, not only in Africa, even in the advanced worlds, that seems to be like the way protest is being interpreted in terms of expressing grievances.
No. Let me correct that impression. In developed countries, when protest goes beyond the extent of what? Passing your message in a peaceful way. Even here in the United Kingdom, there is a reasonable containment played by the security agencies. Okay. So let's not forget that when you see the bonfire, you could see that there is always struggle between the security agencies who were once protecting them and the protestants. Do you understand? Okay. But where it is peaceful in the sense that, well, a solidarity is taken, a procession, a route can be decided. Okay, we are proceeding from Lekki to Ajegule, or we are processing from Airport Road in Abuja to National Assembly. These are routes that the police can protect or can provide security cover. And when they are passing through that route, they should not deprive others who are not part of it, because there's two things. There's two things here. You protesting for a particular thing and also protecting the right of those who have different opinion. So you're not in any way trying to express your opinion and now start inconveniencing those who have a different opinion.
Okay, so let's just quickly look at the response of government or state actors, and I'd like to have your critical assessment of that. Now, if you listen to the voices of those calling for protests on social media and the response of government, its representatives, which would you say seems to be instigating reasons for violence more? Because we have citizens who are saying they want an end to bad governance, not government, maybe, but security operators are dispensing words to people describing, the possibility of the protests not being held. Some of them are even saying that they are going to prevent protests being held in states and in different parts. So when you look at that, the responses are the body language of these two sides, which would you say is actually, instilling or even propagating agitation or the possibility of violence coming forth with this protest that is brewing?
Yeah, well, it's just like let me just state it clear. When I read the statement attributed to the State Security Service, popularly known as the DSS, it is really worrisome, because if the DSS can identify those who are promoters of the protest, but yet they cannot really identify those who intend to perpetrate violence is worrisome. Then if you also see the statement attributed to the FCT Minister too, you could see that in his normal, should I say his appearance, you could see that it's also worrisome to know that somebody of his caliber can make such a statement, making it expressly that such a thing is not allowed there. So by implication, if you are saying such a thing is not allowed there, that means you don't welcome dissenting opinion. And somebody who does not welcome dissenting opinion can do everything possible to make sure that what he presume or what he presume is going to happen will happen, because that is what is the aftermath of the EndSARS protest. So what I think it should be done, and what I think the security agency ought to have done, is to see that, well, we are willing to provide the security cover, and we are willing to deal decisively to people who go contrary to the normal standard of protest or who intend to perpetrate violence. But nobody is saying that. All what they are saying is that there is perceived danger, there is perceived violence. Now the question is, your intelligence can gather there is a violence. Why can't the intelligence identify those who wants to perpetrate the violence? So it's worrisome. So I think I push the table down to the government now, to stakeholders, that is the stakeholders, the government angles. Let them look at it holistically, see how the concerns of the masses are raised, and how they can see, okay, well, these are your concerns, yes. As I was thinking that the FCT Minister would say, as a lawyer who is, to say, okay, well, we are providing this vast area to accommodate any protest.
Okay.
And we are going to listen to you, and we are going to accept whatever you are going to say. But what they are saying, I foresee that is what happened in 2020.
2020.
Coming back again. Yes, coming back again. And I think the officials who have come out openly to condemn or who are kicking against the strike should be part of people who should be held responsible if anything happens.
All right. So we actually hope that it will not degenerate to what happened in October 2020. But thank you so much, Tohwo Oseruvwoja, for talking to us and educating us on this.
You're welcome.